Recently, everyone and their mothers, including us, ended up seeing the last episode of Mando.
That's at chapter 15.
Chapter 15. I believe the title
Yes.
was The Believer, I want to say.
That
Something like
believer,
that.
yeah.
And I just kind of, I know we weren't really going to talk about the show after the season was over, but I mean, dang, man, you know what? Like, I'm assuming next week is the season finale, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, man.
So
I think it is.
I kind of wanted to bring this up because I want to know. I mean, we'll go into spoilers later. I mean, up to you guys. But the episode was badass. They just, it was a nail biting. But I know, like in the beginning, we
I'd say we could go into spoilers right away. I mean, no one's gonna watch this episode, chapter
you're good.
15
True.
of this. If we
Okay.
do spoilers.
That's
You're
true.
good.
I mean, if you guys haven't, if for
Just in
those who
case.
haven't watching, if you guys haven't watched it already, I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Get
so-
offline. Stop watching our show.
Seriously.
Go watch Mandalorian.
and then come back.
Definitely.
And then come back. No, but yeah, we might as well, man. I mean, the episode was badass, but I just wanted to start it off because, like, I know before the season started, we kind of had like our own prediction of what we think was going to happen, or after the first episode, we talked about it, and then we all had our different theories of what we think what might happen throughout the season or whatever. And then, yeah, I mean, the season's almost over, and I kind of wanted to just touch up again. Well, since we are here, let's just create our own theories again and see what would happen in the last episode, and then take it from there. But
So what are your predictions, Manny? What are your predictions?
I called the first one, bro. I told you guys Boba Fett was gonna help him out later on, dog. And
Yeah.
sure enough, he's on the squad. So I
Yeah.
called that shit from the beginning.
I mean, I
It's
knew
done
he
really, really well.
I knew
Yeah,
he
dude.
was gonna get the armor back. I knew he wanted that armor, but the tag along, I didn't know it was gonna be that open. Like
If we're talking about too, just this episode in general, just a small thing that gave me like such a fan boner was when he came out of the ship and the suit was cleaned up, like all prettied up. I was like, it's Boba Fett, yay! Like it was cool. Like them
so
pinning
on
up
that
the armor
on
was
that
cool.
same line, Chris, before we do the predictions, I seen a lot of people trying to describe and say why the armor was cleaned up, because if you notice from the whole saga, from the whole original saga, I'm talking about New Hope,
Empire Strikes Back
Treasure,
and all that
he
stuff.
always had the armor dirty and destroyed,
Mhm.
and it was never clean ever. And when he fought on that last episode last week, the armor was completely destroyed still. So he cleaned it up and he probably repainted it. So there's a lot of theories on the internet on why he did it. I have my own theory. I just want to know you guys before we start with the predictions. Why do you think that he restored the armor? What was the reason?
Well, I had a lot of things that I was sort of thinking about Boba Fett with this recent episode. And a lot of it you could just sort of throw away and call fan service, but I think they're going to make it all canon in the correct lore in different ways. Like, for example, we were talking about earlier today, Will, about when they're doing the getaway with the two TIE fighters, he drops this enormous pulse grenade that he just seemed
he does.
he just have for whatever reason. And he also drops it like it's nothing to him. And in the episode prior to this, when he's fighting the stormtroopers, he's like punching holes through their armor and shit. Like he's going nuts. More than likely, if you had to tie into the canon and the lore, when we first meet him, he's sort of been at peace, and he's been, he's more in tune with peace and his own beliefs and whatnot.
Mhm.
More than likely, he isn't the same bounty hunter he was, in episode 4, 5, 6. And maybe he wants to be more presentable, if I had to guess the lore. But what I was saying earlier, I mean, honestly, dude, it's probably fan service. Like, we want to clean Boba Fett kicking ass.
What do you think, Manny? What do you think the armor was so clean?
I think it's honestly, I think it's a new beginning in terms of Boba Fett's in terms of Boba Fett's journey. I mean, the same thing happened to Mando in the first season. He had shitty armor. He got destroyed. Ended up finding the child. That was like basically his new chapter after finding the child. And then he literally started off with his new Beskar armor and doing a new journey. And I'm pretty sure it's the same. I'm thinking it's the same thing at what Boba Fett's gonna go through as well too. It's a new beginning for him. He has another brother with him right now, and he's just gonna go along for the ride and help him rescue Grogu. And this is like his redemption, I guess, to like stick it back to the Empire, because I know he's been with them since like the movies back then. And I mean, ever since he got into the Sarlacc pit, basically it's like the Empire pretty much abandoned him, and that's why he was the way he was, and that's why he ended up kicking ass in that refinery back then in the last episode too. That's what I think.
So my theory is, and I haven't heard this one on the internet, I actually was thinking about this. I believe he had all that messed up armor because he was never beaten. Like Boba Fett always get his bounty. Boba Fett never loses. Boba Fett always wins. And it was like a how do you call it? Like a badge of honor, you know, like look at my armor, how messed up it is, and I'm always standing. I believe he considers him losing the armor in the Sarlacc pit a defeat, a failure. So he's restarting again, and he cleaned it up because now he's gonna collect those battle scars one more time. That's my take. I'm hoping they explain it later, and we'll see which of the three it is. But I believe that's mine, man. We'll see what happens, bro.
That's a good one. Before we get away from, or I know we're going to go into spoilers and predictions and stuff, but I want on the record that I hate the name Grogu. I think that it's...
I knew it. You want to come up with that, man. I knew it.
I don't need to talk about it more than I just want it on the record, man. I wanted to like it so much. I don't know. I gave all these damn Disney artists so much credit for so long. Every other name in the entire Star Wars universe, extended lore is so cool, chill, rolls off the tongue so well. And then we get the most iconic character we've gotten in decades that everybody's little brother and sister loves, and his name's Grogu. Buh, what a shit name. He's Baby Yoda or the child forever.
What about Darth Grogu?
That's even worse somehow. Bro, tell me why Jar Jar sounds better. Like Grogu's terrible. It's a terrible name.
I believe it's one of those names that it's debatable, man. I liked it, but I'm not saying it's the best name, but I like it. But I understand if you don't, and that's fine. I'll accept that.
We can move past it. Come on, he's like the best thing in Star Wars in such a long time.
I don't know, man. That they could have chosen a better name, yes, I'm 100% agree with you with that. But that is a horrible name. I don't know, man. To me, it's fine.
But I should have called him Scott or just whatever. Just
no, that's horrible.
If Ahsoka was like, "Oh, what's that, Scott?" I'd be like, "Oh, it's Scott. All right, cool."
Yogurt. They went with yogurt, but it was just too.
Yogurt would have been fine too. Yogurt works.
They should have kept it with the Y name, to be honest. I felt like they just broke tradition, because I know Yoda, obviously, with the Y. And I know there was someone else in the Jedi Council. It was like Yoda species.
Yaddle.
I hope that it's wrong. I hope Mando retcons it somehow, but predictions.
You're just going to name him Kid. That's his name.
That's fine. That's everything at Walmart and Toys R Us. Well, Rip Toys R Us. Everything at Walmart should be branded the kid or the child or whatever.
It's gonna change eventually, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. My mind still prefers Baby Yoda, but I don't mind Grogu. Whatever.
I just want you guys to know I'm never gonna say Grogu. Can't stand it.
So Manny, predictions.
Yeah, so I know based on last episode, pretty much Baby Yoda was on the top of the temple on Triton. And he was connecting with someone through the Force, the person we don't know. So that's pretty much what overall, I'm just gonna go based off their if the season was to end, it's either he might have gotten in contact with a Jedi, and the Jedi is probably gonna look for him. I have two outcomes, but I think the second one is probably gonna be my most. Hopefully, I think that's the one I'm gonna stick by. But
so you think somebody's gonna show up?
I think so, and I think it's gonna be Ezra Bridger, to be honest, because they put Ahsoka in the series, and that's just that I know they put her on there because I know she's gonna have her own spin-off show, whatever. But like Filoni and Favreau, they don't work like that, dude. Like they have them on there for a reason, and the fact that she introduced Thrawn's name from the get-go, anyways. Like, dude, they have to put him on there. Like, that's what I think. It's either gonna be Ezra Bridger coming to get him, or the one that I'm probably gonna say is Mando's actually gonna keep the kid no matter what and train him himself. Not really in a Jedi way, mainly more like on his skill set. And then throughout the time, probably Baby Yoda, as he gets older, whatever, will look for mentors to like help him with like his force sensitive powers. I feel like he's gonna be a combination of both. He's gonna be a bounty hunter / like Jedi type stuff. That's probably what I'm really more inclining to, because as we saw in this last episode, man, Mando, he was desperate and he did whatever he could, man. He will do anything.
He broke the code
to get his kid, man. And he did it, yeah, man. So
that was huge, man. That was a huge moment for me. I never thought that was gonna happen, and it took me by surprise. And I kind of accepted because of the reasons. So it was a really powerful moment. You're right.
Yeah, everybody has a line.
Yeah, and when it comes to your predictions, man, you're really on point. I believe that they mentioned that piece of the puzzle there, so might as well incorporate it. You're right. I mean, I kind of, if I had to put my money down, and I don't know if you finish, or do you have more predictions, Manny?
I'm gonna stick with Ezra.
Okay.
I really hope it's him because of that, but I'm gonna stick to my second opinion. But if a Jedi was to come and search for the child or whatever Chris wants to call him, it's probably gonna be Ezra, to be honest.
I mean, I was gonna say I think that Ezra will be my top second. I do agree with that. All the points you made were redundant. We're on point. But if I had to put my money down, I'll say it's Luke Skywalker, man. I don't know. He's still around in this era.
Yeah.
I mean, when Grogu was meditating and he was putting that pretty much Force satellite towards the universe, it would be super weird that Luke Skywalker didn't feel that, because he is right now the most powerful Jedi there is. He has to be. I mean, there's other people with experience. Also, let me rectify that. Now that I know Ahsoka is still around in this world, it's debatable. But I believe Luke Skywalker must have felt this. Like, honestly, he must have felt this. And if he doesn't show up, I'll be like, where the hell are you, dude? Like, did you like, are you blind? Are you like, what death? What's going on? You're very in tune with the Force at this moment. You just pretty much defeated the Emperor. Well, borderline, because it was pretty much Darth Vader, but you were there in that fight and you were fighting your father. So to me, it has to be him, man. It will be a great cliffhanger. It will be a way to probably move this story forward. I mean, it doesn't have to be the protagonist, but it's freaking Luke Skywalker, man. When Luke Skywalker show up, if he does, the internet, the Disney Plus, the fandom is gonna explode.
It's gonna break, yeah.
It's gonna break, period. I mean, I don't know. It could be Ezra, and if it's Ezra, I'm fine with it. It could be Cal Kestis, although I extremely doubted that it's him.
It would be nice to have him too, man, as the Jedi that comes out.
He's still obscure, man. The same way Ezra is a little bit obscure. Like, Ezra makes sense because people know Ezra by Ahsoka, but I mean, right now the most popular Jedi right now that everybody knows is Luke Skywalker, and we can say Ahsoka because of the show. But again, people that didn't watch the show, fans that didn't watch the Clone Wars, really don't know who she is. She's pretty much been a new character introduced to the whole fandom. That's what I'm saying, that I believe it has to be somebody huge, and nobody's bigger than Luke Skywalker right now. I mean, when it comes to this era.
I was going to say, I think that it's going to be Ezra. I think it makes the most sense, like, in their universe. I think, however, I think it makes more of a business and a show sense to redeem Luke Skywalker. He is alive. He is the most powerful Jedi right now. And they kind of ruined him they wrote him off in the weirdest way possible. And I think the Disney geniuses know that they can pull him back in this show. But you guys both touched on that already, so there's not much more I can add. All I can say is my favorite would be if they did Cal Kestis. I don't know, it probably won't happen. But my only other theory was, if we go off of, let's say that Manny's correct, and Mando's gonna raise him, kind of, part bounty hunter, part Jedi, part, whatever he wants to raise himself to be. Maybe we can get Ezra shows up and teaches him, force choke or force jump, and then we get Luke, and then we get Cal Kestis, and then maybe Baby Yoda, Grogu can be trained by a gauntlet of different Jedis throughout Mandalorian season 3 and 4, and he can kind of go, and that can pivot into meeting a bunch of different Jedi.
Yeah,
I got one more. It could either be no one, or it could be Mace Windu.
Oh, dang.
That's a possibility. I mean, I don't know. There's been hints on the internet that he might be alive.
Yeah.
I just thought about this. This is a possibility. It could be him. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows him. So if it's not Luke, to me, it's freaking Mace Windu above Ezra Bridger. That's my predictions. I mean, it could be Ezra, but to me, Ezra right now, it went down to a third. Yeah.
It could be him too. I mean, dude, on all these people that I thought died after like falling thousands of feet in the air or whatever, somehow end up coming back alive. I mean, dude, so Mace Windu can be up and running at that point too. So
we'll see, man. We'll see. This is a great topic. I believe we're gonna come back to this after next week once we see the real the results of this debate. And I mean, I hope it's somebody. I will be really disappointed if nobody shows, to be honest with you. I mean, they could go with nobody, but I mean, he already did the meditation thing. You gotta bring somebody. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Even if it does end with it just being a badass standoff with with just Mando and Boba Fett fighting together against
it'll be great. It'll be great with those two.
Yeah, they would wrap it up well, but I think as a bow, I mean, or as a teaser, kind of like the Darksaber at the end of season 1, they should end it showing Luke's boots or whatever.
Somebody's boots, man. Yeah, someone's boots,
or just the boots, and then you see the bottom part of the green saber. Like that would be cool.
Yeah, or you hear the sound of a lightsaber, something that will be great. That will have us talking for months
until season 3. Yeah, no, I agree.